In the golden age of physical records, cover art was one of the many selling points. Meant to be displayed, it was a statement in itself. Some covers even reached cult status amongst fans like Nevermind by Nirvana or Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. In the era of streaming, quality album covers have slowly eroded away, and some are even replaced by AI-generated images today. What once was considered, a piece of art, akin to a prized painting, has nowadays become almost insignificant. I still believe, though, that a release is not just defined by the song itself. A memorable cover can go a very long way as well, especially when trying to attract listener attention. That's why I still create album covers in a way that feel significant to the respective song. Lately, I've been adopting a very crafty approach to creating covers, mixed media approach really. So let me show you what I mean. I had this idea about a song that was about how people tend to move to urban areas during the late teens, vowing to never go back to the countryside. But as life progresses and as people become more settled, they're often drawn back to the outskirts of cities or even back into the sticks, appreciating a more quiet or cheaper lifestyle. That was the inspiration for Try Country Life. As the idea formed in my head, I knew I wanted to build an actual cover, something that is not just computer generated, something that has, some kind of tactility to it. So I went to work. I went out to buy some corrugated cardboard in order to create a scene as if straight out of a picture book. I wanted to show this, typical country life scene that kids would draw when they think of the countryside. There's, cows, a sun, maybe a barn, lots of green and blue. I started by taking pictures of the cardboard and doing a mock-up in digital form, as it was way less wasteful instead of, cutting out hundreds of tests. So once happy with my mock-up, I went to work on drawing on actual shapes onto the cardboard and cutting them out, like a cow, a house, a tree, the sun, some clouds, etc. I wanted to have a good array of objects to put into my scene. I also wanted to have a counter scene to the country, a cityscape, so I cut out skyscrapers and a car and even a tram. I then arranged a scene with all the individual objects for reference and took some photos. I then digitized every single cutout, making sure to get some natural shadows in order for the digital composition to then look as natural as possible. Having all the components available digitally meant that not only could I build the entire album cover out of one's physical objects, I was also able to animate every single piece for various other purposes like the music video, which I'll link in the description for you. Part of my vision was a stop-motion aesthetic to the video, so I got to work in DaVinci. First of all, I think it's really cool how DaVinci can natively read PSD files and split them by layer, retaining all positions. Second of all, even without being an absolute whiz in Fusion, I was able to get the animation I was looking for by applying camera shakes to some of the animated cutouts. The car here, for example, uses a sine wave to have this kind of wavy motion, and my cow here uses a square wave to simulate walking movement. It also meant that it could animate things like the clouds moving across the sky or the sun spinning in circles. So yeah, I was able to create my vision by fusing analog cutouts with digital cutting, and I think that the album art, the music video, and all the various creatives I created of that turned out exactly like envisioned, a childhood-inspired countryside landscape. And sure, I'm convinced I could have done that all digital as well, but honestly, it felt really good to create something with scissors and colored paper. It's something I rarely get to do and enjoy, so this was a very welcome change. What are some of your most favorite album covers of all time, and why do you like them so much? Let's chat in the comments down below, and see you next time!